All right, the unmotivated dad here. I'm gonna sit or walk and talk about the reason I started this channel. I mean, it's basically because I feel like that guy. I know I'm not doing terribly and I shouldn't beat myself up too much, but I do. I always do. It's always something that I think about is what more could I be doing? Never really thinking about the things I have accomplished or what I am doing. So I wanted to create this channel to maybe reach an audience of other dads or just other guys, other people, anybody who feels unmotivated at times. You feel like you see people online that are so together, they're in such great shape, or they've got so much success, or they've got all the things that you don't have, and it feels like you're doing something wrong because you don't have it. And I just don't think that's the case. I think there was a lizard in that bush back there. So maybe I'll just start with a little bit about myself. I'm a 45-year-old father of two, husband. I would say in my career, I've probably been what most people would consider pretty successful. I'm not trying to brag or anything, just giving you all the information I have. I make 6 figures, but to be honest, we kind of live paycheck to paycheck just because we like to have the things we like to have, and we like to experience the things we like to experience. And I kind of started off early on with the thought of working with a lot of older guys in the industry I worked in. A lot of those guys died before they ever got to see retirement. They would always talk about their 401ks, their pensions, all the things that they wanted to do. And most of them never got to see it. And the ones that did fell apart pretty quickly after they retired, and that was it. And I always looked at that as, you know, how do you plan for a future that might not come, but then also live every day like it could be your last? Where's the balance in that, you know? So I guess the balance I found is we don't really save any money, and we do the things we want to do that we can afford. Although, you know, here we are middle of 2024 and it's getting a lot harder to afford those things. But I'm not a particularly political person. I don't really believe the government is here to help us. I don't think they're doing anything really for most Americans except for dividing us against each other. So anyway, I grew up in a city, but a city that's in a farming community, all surrounded by orchards, surrounded by farms. Grew up pretty middle class. My dad was a blue-collar worker. My parents divorced when I was young. I was living with my dad. Grew up kind of an only child, even though I have 3 half-sisters and 1 full brother that I didn't even know I had until I was about 16 years old, because my parents gave him up for adoption for whatever reasons. They struggled a lot with addiction. Just struggled in general, coming from kind of a white trash background. So, I mean, I had a really good childhood. I struggled a lot because my mom wasn't in the picture, but I had my dad. I had everything I needed. I had toys. I had, you know, I had a lot. I had decent friends. I didn't do too well in school, but I graduated. I got a job in a pretty decent industry. I don't think I want to go too deep into that at this point until we see what this channel does, and maybe I'll get a little deeper into my personal details. But I got a decent job. I moved up quite a bit. I kept being given more responsibility or accepting it, or maybe there was nobody else around to do it, so I was a dumbass who volunteered. Met my wife when I was 31. We got married, had children. Here I am. I've got a 12-year-old and a 7-year-old. And to be honest, at the moment, I'm feeling really disillusioned, really disenfranchised, whatever you want to call it. I'm feeling lost, and maybe it is a midlife crisis, or maybe it's just that realization that I've been busting my butt for somebody else for my entire career. I've been giving up time with my family. I've been giving up a lot. For what? For me to leave a company that I was highly regarded at, and as soon as I left, all of a sudden, I was worthless. I was this, I was that. And slowly over the years, all this stuff just piles up on you. But anyway,